today. From Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 14 carries, 52 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Curtis drops it underneath to Thomas. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This pass complete to Reynolds. And he is going to have a Colts first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. This is Thomas. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards there helps, but they're still stuck now. 3rd and long coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Lions will take over. On 1st down, Herron. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herron. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. A big play there for Detroit, and even 50 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Operating from the gun. Herron looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Curtis. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
They run with Thomas. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Curtis. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. 2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Thomas. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Following the fumble recovery, Herron to the right side, complete to Taylor. And they'll work this down inside the 30. It's a pretty nice throw right there from the rookie. And this, of course, is game number 2 of his NFL career. His guys did not get the win, Charles, in the opener. But what did you see from him last week?
Well, I think all things considered, he played pretty well, and I don't think I'd pin the loss on him. But there's no question, this is a learning process, and that was step 1, and he's hoping on the road to glory.
on 1st and 10. Herron escaping the pressure right. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Cole Kmet, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Well, Charles, that's a great response drive from the rookie quarterback. Remember, threw the pick on the previous possession. Here, he's able to lead him down and throw it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And I know from the draft analysis that this is exactly why this team wanted to take this young man. They thought his ability to bounce back from mistakes and quickly turn them into positives, that was something they wanted on their team, and we just saw evidence of it right there. This young man doesn't let anything get to him, and he finds a way to come back big.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking to throw on second down. Curtis. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
The receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Operating from the gun, Herron. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Back to throw. Herron. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Cole Kmet with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions have moved out in front.
Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. On 1st down, Curtis, complete, Smith has it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because
He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Curtis.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players, and glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Lions to take over. They're on top here as they come up on a 1st and 10, trying to make amends for that lost week at the hands of Seattle. Throwing to start the drive. Herron.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Herron. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Throwing on 1st down. Herron steps away to his left.
A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Offense was moving it a little bit. back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Back to throw again.
Pass complete downfield. It's Pierce.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime. And
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Delivers another one to Pierce. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Alec Pierce
from 6 yards away.
And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Badgley on for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And the Colts coming out now.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw on 2nd down, Curtis.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
From the gun on 3rd down, Curtis. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Curtis. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Operating from the gun. Curtis. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone. return for the Detroit touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Throwing to start the drive, Curtis. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to throw. Curtis. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started in the NFC. Minnesota hosting San Francisco at U.S. Bank Stadium. And it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And it's the visiting L.A. Chargers who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame.
Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Down the right sideline.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Cole Kmet from 13 yards out. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the ground, it's Thomas. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herron. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
On 3rd down, Herron.
Left side, he finds Pierce.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Herron. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there. His touchdown on the season. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was Jameson Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on third down, Curtis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Here comes Reynolds as they try the jet sweep.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That's enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit.
To throw again, Curtis. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Lions will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st and 10, Herron.
And he's got Pierce.
And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Being chased out left. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jonathan Taylor
His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
As this offense takes the field again, CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 62 yards.
And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
The extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On first down, Herron eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Herron. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 41-yard line. Operating from the gun, Herron.
He'll go right back to St. Brown. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Are things looking much rosier for them here in week 2? They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
He's got his man, it's Pierce.
And in for the Lions, touchdown.
Alec Pierce,
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
and the Lions continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Badgley on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To throw on 2nd down, Curtis. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On 1st down, it's Thomas. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The 30. 10. 5. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Colts getting ready to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third and a few inches. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here come the Lions now.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They'll roll him out right. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Colts set to take over here offensively.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Curtis.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Curtis.
And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, it wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Throwing to start the drive. Curtis. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions fans will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Curtis. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Rolling to his right. He's airing it out for Williams. And got his man complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Yet another touchdown in what has just been a high-scoring affair, a fun one to watch. And it's the rookie quarterback, Charles, coming through with yet another touchdown pass to pad the lead.
Did we come into this game where defense was optional? Because it certainly feels that way, right? But when you look at the scoreboard, this rookie, he has his team moving at a little bit quicker pace than his opponents. The entire offense is going to get plenty of praise, and I think these coaches have to be especially happy with what their quarterback has done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Detroit, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.